Fahy, and I work in Galway City. I live in Galway City, but I'm originally from Ballinasloe, but I work around the county and we do a lot of environmental education with children. But I've been asked to come along with the Galway Education Centre and to give kind of this Wormery project and to kind of link it in with the science experiment and the Fionn Science Project.
Jenny went through the three most vital elements that the worms needed: food, air and water. We talked about what food could be given to the worms. In each wormery, these are the layers we would need. 1. Gravel on the bottom, then cardboard or paper, followed by food, in this case fruit, then worms and soil with the top layer of newspaper. We decided to make 4 wormeries for comparison: fruit peelings in one, vegetable peelings in another, tea bags, coffee in another, and a mixture in the 4th container of all of these. Here is Owen putting gravel into the first wormery. Here we are measuring the amount of soil to be placed in each wormery. Each wormery is fitted with an air vent and lots of air holes. All 4 wormeries were clearly labelled. Having this done, it was observed that the worms had started to make their way to the bottom of the wormery. Each wormery was covered with a black plastic bag so as to imitate the worm's natural environment. Here is Jenny showing us how to cover the container. When Jenny left us, we were advised to open the wormeries for 20 minutes per day and record any observations. These were recorded on a day-to-day basis on computer. When Jenny made her second visit, we were shown a new way to cover the containers. The wormeries were checked and we decided no food was needed until after Easter. 4 children volunteered to bring home the wormeries during the Easter holidays: Patrick, Ava, Tara and Maria. Here is Patrick covering the wormery in the new way. On Jenny's third visit, it was compost harvesting day. The wormeries were checked for worm castings. Jenny points out to us where to look for the worm castings. Most of the worm castings were found lodged between the folds in the cardboard. Great fun was had by all when looking for and extracting the worm castings. We used this opportunity to examine the worms more closely than we had done before. We discovered that the worms were indeed the life and soul of the experiment on this day. They certainly managed to develop an amazing appreciation of the art of breakdancing while being cooped up in their containers. The next step in our experiment was to plant seeds in the compost. We planted nasturtiums. Firstly, we made holes in all 8 cartons. We then measured out the amount of soil and compost to be placed in each carton. 8 cartons were used. 4 cartons with worm castings from the fruit, veg, tea bags and mixed wormeries, and 4 cartons with ordinary soil from our school grounds to compare with. cartons were covered with a plastic bag until the seeds began to grow. The pairs of cartons were then kept in each classroom and kept on a windowsill. It took 10 days for the seeds to sprout above the soil. There was no immediate difference between the growth of the seeds in ordinary soil and those in the soil with worm castings. After another week's growth, the worm castings began to take effect, and the plants in these cartons seemed to be growing faster. When the 4 cartons with worm castings were clearly compared with the 4 ordinary cartons, it was observed that the worm castings were having a positive effect on the growth of the seeds.
Daniel McGuinness was the lucky volunteer who got to taste the nasturtiums. We hope you enjoyed this video. We all enjoyed participating in this project.